All right, well, good morning. Welcome to our September 17th quarterly CLA meeting. Y'all, I have to tell you that when I first started in this role in January, I thought, man, I have a long time to be in this seat, and I look up and it's almost the end of the first year. And time has just gone by so quickly because what that says is we've just had a lot of exciting things happening within our state, and I'm excited that we are able to celebrate what we have going on. But as you all know, a big part of what we're doing is to make sure that we are able to share and provide updates, particularly in your roles as in chapter president, leadership positions. We just want to make sure you all have a good sense of what's going on in and across the chapters. So before we launch into our agenda, which I will go ahead and pull up now. Oh, first, stop. Let me first make sure I acknowledge our board of directors. I like to make sure that everyone knows, if you aren't aware who your board of directors are, you have myself as director. I'm a member of the Birmingham chapter. You have Mallory Watkins, who is chapter president for Shoals chapter. Yvonne Ondich, who is a wearer of many hats, who is our past media director, as well as serving as our membership director. And she's a part of the North Alabama ALSHRM chapter. Joshua Bracken, who is our business manager, a part of our North Alabama ALSHRM chapter, and our Chanel Daniel, who is our secretary, is a part of our Birmingham chapter. I just want to make sure everyone knows who our board of directors are, and feel free to reach out to any of us if you need any support. So this is the outline of the agenda that we'll follow, and we'll make sure if there are any other updates we need to include, let us know. And I had the opportunity yesterday to participate in our Southeast Regional meeting, which I was able to borrow some of the topics from that meeting to help with conversations today, because it was really good conversations yesterday. So Chanel, I think before we get started, let's just do an official roll call of chapters to make sure we have a record as to who's participating on this call. And then we'll kick off with Paula and any SHRM updates from there. So Chanel, go ahead.
Okay. Baldwin County, who's representing Baldwin County? Okay. Birmingham.
Lynn Colley.
Callahan, I'm sorry. I'm at work, y'all. Calhoun. East Alabama. Escambia. Marshall. Mobile.
Mobile's here, Carla Rogers.
Okay, thank you, Port City. North Alabama.
Stacy Smith.
And Wiregrass. Do we have representation from Tuscaloosa or ALSHRM? Okay. Montgomery.
Donnell McCullough here.
And Takesha, did I skip you? I'm sorry.
No, I'm here for East Alabama.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else?
Tennessee Valley, Denny Smith.
Okay.
And hey, I'm here for Shoals too, so Mallory.
Mallory. Okay.
Did you say Montgomery?
I did.
Okay.
Thank you. And just as a reminder, this is an opportunity for those, particularly for those of you in those chapter president seats, that this is your last term and you're bringing in someone to replace you, these meetings are great opportunities to invite others from your board to participate so that they begin to get some visibility into what's happening, at the state level. So feel free to invite other team members to these meetings to help get them some exposure as well. We certainly don't mind. We definitely want to make sure your chapters get the information and are able to participate. So with that being said, Paula, I'm going to introduce you and I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that you have slides you want to share, Paula, or okay. I'm going to introduce our members and community director, Paula Humber. Many of you should have met her at our state conference back in May, but I'd like to invite Paula to provide updates from the SHRM perspective so that we can make sure we're in the loop on that. So let me make sure I've opened up sharing permissions, Paula. Hold on.
Okay. It's great to be before y'all, although I recognize a lot of your faces throughout this year. I can't believe what time it is either, Andrea. I started in February and I feel like I've been around the world and back again. So for those of you who don't know, I'm sort of new to the role, definitely not new to SHRM. I am a recovering volunteer leader. And for those of you who've done it for years, you chuckle a little bit because you know what I'm talking about. And also a recovering HR professional. So I've had both doses. And so I thank you all for everything that you do and bring to your roles. I'm going to do a brief update. First, starting with an update for the state of Alabama, we like to look at our data like good HR professionals and just to see where we are as of this quarter. We like to use data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics and talking about HR professionals. They are really limited to HR directors and below. So we know this number to be a little bit more than 18,500 for the entire state of Alabama. And the reason why we look at this number is to understand what type of opportunity we have from a membership standpoint. Only 3,157 are actual SHRM members. This isn't including your local members only right now. So we have a 37% rate for dual members as far as those who are members of SHRM as well as members of your local chapter. And what does this mean? We've got opportunity. We have 14 professional chapters that we're looking at in the state of Alabama, 7 of which are co-branded, 6 of which are DMR. So we're about 50% with those initiatives that we consider to be partnership initiatives of SHRM as well as the chapter. And so with that, we are seeing great strides with certification holders who are dual members. We also see retention as something that's positive and in increasing numbers when it comes to dual membership. So we're always promoting that feature. We have an 83% opportunity rate for the state of Alabama with reference to SHRM members and HR professionals. So with some of these new initiatives, we hope to capture the market and we're partnering with you to do so. Some of the ways that we are partnering with you is again through co-branding. We are seeing some great strides with this program. This is just a visual that I put before you. I don't know if you've seen a lot of the branding that SHRM has put out nationally. I was on a United Airlines flight and I saw our It's a Work thing, it's a SHRM thing, a commercial. So I was just like pleasantly surprised by that. But I mean, this is an example of what our scattered identities may look like versus our globally respected brand of SHRM and being consistent while we're trying to create a consistent experience through and through. If you are interested in co-branding, it is open. There's no like deadline with which you have to join. You can use the forms that are found on the BLRC in order to do so. You can talk to some of your other folks who have co-branded to understand their experience. So we hope to see you all co-branding in the next couple of years. For those of you who have been with SHRM any amount of time as a volunteer leader, you've heard of DMR. We've been screaming it from the mountaintops, DMR, DMR. But I would be remiss if I didn't remind you of the many benefits that we are seeing here with the DMR. Of course, there's that increased exposure to at-large members, as well as the improved rejoin experience. We're just seeing higher retention for those who are DMR, as well as providing daily reporting and getting rid of those pesky audits. I see them coming through my desk one by one every year, every day, and I'm like, whew, we could really do with a lot less of these, but we are moving towards that end. It has been shared from the national level, so I don't feel shy in saying so. It looks as though SHRM is looking in the next 3 to 5 years to transition all chapter structures to DMR. And so what we'd like to do is partner, what I'd like to do is transparently partner with you all and seeing what does that look like in the next 3 to 5 years for your chapter in transitioning. As far as the data go, this program has been in existence from 2019, and so we do have the data to show that membership renewals are higher, certification is higher, and quite certainly the tenure, the amount of time that people stay with your chapter is much higher when they are dual members. We've seen membership growth with reference to the now 194 chapters who are DMR and 11 more who are launching right now. But also, you know, SHRM is always good for a great competition, right? So we have just a couple more days, or one more day. Is it the 18th? I don't even know what day. Friday. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow is the last day to commit to DMR in order to take advantage of this new incentive. So when you start the program, it's a process. It's not like you go from DMR one day to the next. You go through training. You're given a certain time in order to implement this in your chapter. And during that time, normally you get an incentive because there may be a loss of some of your LMO members at the beginning. So in addition to that, you get an additional $1,000 if you're small, medium, or large, or an additional $2,500 for mega and super mega chapters if you join this launch. So I had someone join just this morning, and I know the spots are filling in. So let me know if you're interested right away so we can get you signed up if you'd like to take advantage of that. All of you should have received information regarding the SHRM hosted affiliate website program. So this is our new and newly improved, I should say, website. For those of you who use Star Chapter or Wild Apricot, you may be familiar with those features that kind of help you run your chapter. Well, SHRM has modernized their SHRM hosted websites to kind of compete in that school of thought when we're looking at our website. When you come to VFBM, you'll be able to see a sample of what the website will look like. But there's 3 important things you should know. If you currently have a SHRM hosted website, the eligibility requirements have changed. This is a really big investment for SHRM. So we are looking for anyone who has a SHRM hosted website to be both DMR and co-branded. So you have until December 1st in order to make that commitment of whether or not you are going to be DMR and co-branded in 2026 so that we can then transition your current website to the new website. Secondly, if you're just excited about this and you say, Paula, I don't currently have a SHRM hosted website, but I really would love to take advantage of this, there's an interest form that I ask you to fill out. You would also need to be DMR and co-branded. Your introduction to the site wouldn't happen until Q2 2026, so be mindful of that. And for those of you who currently have a SHRM hosted website but say, I'm not quite ready for the DMR program, or I'm not quite ready for co-branding yet, and so there is a grace period from January to June 30th, 2026 for you to find alternative hosting and or, you know, come around to, okay, well, I do want to do that. So just be mindful of those three things when it comes to the SHRM hosted affiliate website program. Let me know if you have any questions about it. So I want to go through a couple of updates that are special for you all. The affiliate membership drive is hot and out there. I'm hearing some real creative ways that people are promoting this. And so I encourage you to get creative as well, whether it be on social or through your events at different conferences. I know you have your legislative conference coming up. There might be an opportunity for new members. Remember, this is focused on new members only. They get 50% off for first-time joiners from now to December 30th. So that's a great part of the program. But for you as affiliates, you all also get an incentive there. They must use the promo code new member only. And they also must select your chapter during sign up. And those who get the most will, of course, get an increased revenue share. But we'd love a contest. The top 3 chapters get recognized monetarily, and the top 3 state councils also by volume get recognized as well. So take advantage of the communications that have been sent out, the custom messaging that has been sent out just to help you in promoting, and get creative yourselves. You guys could add to it and make it really spicy and something really interesting for your state and chapter. Just so you know, the SHRM Impact Award window has closed. So now it's our responsibility to read all of your lovely submissions, and we should be having our winners announced at VLBM this year. As a reminder, wow, it's almost Q4. So just be constantly reviewing the SHRM affiliate standards. As we mentioned, from Q1, we've shifted from SHAPE to the SHRM affiliate standards. We're going to be talking a lot more about these at VLBM as far as some of the new standards that are coming to play. So just be mindful of that and aware of the dates. With VLBM. So, as most of you know, the housing deadline and the registration has closed. But as of yesterday, they've tallied up everyone, and they do have a couple of extra spots. I've been able to get a couple people in. So if you were thinking, I really, really wanted to go, but I didn't fit into one of those invited positions, let me know today. And I can see if I can work my magic and get some folks in there. But we would love to still have you come. And I'll have my information on the last slide. So just email me right away, and let's see if we can get you in if you are still interested. So for those of you also thinking about succession and how do I develop my volunteers, we've got your back there. We've got the new SHRM Leader Specialty Credential that's coming up. It's not out yet, but it's going to be a educational on-demand program, free to volunteers, to help you understand strategic operations of a SHRM chapter, the foundational knowledge, you know, all that stuff you kind of take for granted. You know, because you've been here a long time, but someone else might not know. So look forward to that. Some more resources for you. So for those of you who are considering or concerned with membership, this is an awesome opportunity. We host this webinar every second Tuesday of the month, 3:00 p.m. And it's for 3 categories of people. It's for new members, it's for those who renew, and it's also just for any old body. It's free. So we've been blasting it on the airways, through social media. It's free and open to anyone. We go through all of the benefits, which you sometimes just forget. And we also do a tour of the website, which can often be kind of confusing, and you know, there's just so much. So we break it down and make it easy. We also have a knowledge advisor on there who will tell you about some of the questions that they get and so on and so forth. So it's a great time. It's just an hour. You can use this as a promotional tool for anyone, your new members, etc. So we hope to see you there. A reminder to use VLRC. There's so much on there, even on the homepage. Just take a look. You'll be surprised in remembering, oh, I've got that resource at my fingertips. Another reminder about the Affiliate Presentation Center. So they are are different requests that you can make, one for a SHRM executive, another for any type of SHRM staff who's a content expert in a specific area. In addition to this, I also want to remind you for your 2026 events that you'd like for us to be on our radar, use the affiliate event form. This is, how we can get you resources if you need tchotchkes, or I'd like to have Paula come and visit my conference. That's the way that you start that conversation. Another reminder about eBlast, one change that you may not have heard of, the allowance time, business lead up time in order to ensure that the eBlast process is launched went from 10 to now it's 15 business days. So be mindful of that. Plus we're coming up on holidays, and so be mindful that there's some blackout periods, especially in December. So get your eBlast submissions in early, and let's get that information out. Always a good reminder, these e-volunteer newsletters, the volunteer communications, are just a reminder that the email address here needs to be whitelisted. If you just started a job and you're like, I'm not receiving these emails, this could be why. Just make sure you'll get these emails. There's a lot of E's in there. It looks like one of those tests that you get from IT that I always fail. That, oh, is this a spam or what? So just make sure that you're receiving those. All right, and we're so proud of our new Skills First Future initiative. So we want to just make sure that we're highlighting this. This is one of those new SHRM Foundation initiatives. I know you've heard about upskilling and reskilling in the workplace. And so we have a whole credential resource library and an awesome vendor database with community support for Skills First implementation. So we encourage you to take a look at those. You can get recertification credits for the Skills First credential and just learn a little bit about it. Be a star with your recruitment efforts at work. And as I mentioned before, for SHRM Foundation, there are others as well. Skills First is one of them, but we have tons of untapped talent features that we're looking at. We also want to remind you that one of the purposes of SHRM Foundation is to strengthen the HR field. So we give about $200,000 worth of scholarships and grants out. So if you're looking to recertify or know someone who's looking to recertify, they don't have an employer support financially for that, send them here and have them apply for a scholarship or grant. We also have mentorships and apprenticeships. We have so much at our fingertips. Sometimes we forget. So I just want to make sure I'm reminding you. SHRM Blueprint. I'm highlighting this event that's coming up at the end of October, right here in the Southeast region. This is going to be a different event. We typically do our conferences, and they're, conferences as conference does. We sit there, we listen to the speaker, but this is going to be a little different. It's going to be cohorts. You're going to discuss inclusion and diversity topics with experts and come out with a blueprint of how to implement these things in your workplace. It's a really difficult topic right now, and one that we're going to together come up with solutions for you to take back to your workplace. So we look forward to seeing you there in Louisville, Kentucky. What else is going on the rest of the year? We've got SHRM linkage at the end of this month. I already talked to you about Blueprint. For those who are SHRM recertification providers, remember that reaffirmation deadline, November 15th, is coming up. We've got VLBM, of course, and then don't forget about your cliffs due December 1st, 2025. As always, it's a pleasure to be before you. Just as a reminder, you are well supported, and we're so excited to support you. Not just myself, but Skyla Butler. She's part of my team as well. She's our member engagement associate. Again, she's your person you go to for reports and anything that you need with records, member records. And then the illustrious Shirley, who I think she said she'll be on the call a little bit later. She's your voice to the executive board. If you have any questions or concerns, Shirley's your gal. So thanks again for your time, and I will give it back to Andrea.
Thank you, Paula.
You're welcome.
And actually, Shirley has joined. Thank you, Shirley. Shirley. Thank you, Shirley, for joining. For those of you who are not familiar with the volunteer role of our MAC, as you all, let me back it up and say a little bit about that, because I think it's important for you all to understand that where you all are in terms of your leadership level as either chapter presidents or being a part of our state council, that is such an impactful opportunity for you to help us navigate, ways we can support our local chapters. At the same time, we want to make sure we are connected to and we build on those roles that also have influence at the SHRM national level. So it's been really awesome to be able to get to know our MAC. In this case, is Shirley, who is, from a volunteer perspective, is at the highest level of the volunteer level, if you will, of how we're structured as volunteers. So Shirley, I'm excited that you're able to join us, and we do welcome you to share any updates or just to say hello. So the floor is yours, and again, we welcome you.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the opportunity, and it's always an honor to be in front of valued volunteers like yourselves, because I am one of you. As Andrea mentioned, I am voted in by your state council presidents here in the Southeast region. But my role as a volunteer leader at this level is to be your voice to our executive board and to that team of people whose decisions are a representative of where our organization is going, and you want your voice heard. And so that's what my role is to bring things back to you from the board, as well as to share with the board things that are on your mind that are of great importance to you, that you feel will make not only maybe your jobs easier or better or efficient, but also what policies and what tools do we need in order to do our jobs at the best possible way that we can. And as volunteer leaders along the way, the MAC has been able, which is our nickname for the Membership Advisory Council, we have been able to facilitate many things, such as the playbook that you all use, right? That was something that came through that. DMR is something that actually started out with a MAC suggestion. So there are great things that have come along the way through that volunteer leader role and to be a MAC, you have to have been a state council president. So you actually have lived the life of all of the tough roles up to that point. So hopefully I am doing a good job of representing your voices. So in the spring, we do 2 surveys a year that are from the MAC themselves. And in the spring, the survey goes out to non-members, members, LMOs, it goes out to everybody that is in HR, so that we can get the pulse of what's going on in business, not just inside our own organization. So we get a bigger picture. And so in the spring, we talked to the board about 3 main pillars of information that we thought was really important. First of all, we talked about being the trusted leader in the space of HR. And that is what SHRM is. SHRM is the largest professional HR organization in the world. We have more than 340,000 members. And how do we demonstrate that we are the trusted authority? Part of that happens with you as the co-branding happens, right? And you are attached to the SHRM as an affiliate of that organization, which helps to make you stronger, right? There is also our commercials, like if it's a work thing, it's a SHRM thing. So if it's a work thing, it's a SHRM thing. That must mean that SHRM has the answers somewhere for you. So that is why we are always turning out those great informational letters about policy and what's going on and toolkits and all those other great things. So that's part of what we talked about. The second pillar had to do with customer connections and centricity and value proposition. So why should someone join your chapter? Why should someone join SHRM? What is the value of that membership and all the great toolkits and things that we come out with? So that was the second part that we talked about. And the third part was all about the future of work. So how do we help our current volunteer leaders continue to be the leaders in their workplace? And so part of that is coming full circle as we have been working for the last couple of years to get this volunteer leader credential. And that is coming in 2026. And it's going to be another added value to you as the volunteer leader, as it will not cost you anything like our other specialty credentials. But it's also going to be another opportunity to show your employers and other professionals that you are networking with what you know, what added value you bring to the table because of being a professional leader in your space, a volunteer leader. You bring some extra things that you might be not be doing in your workplace, but you are doing in the volunteer space. And they bring added value to who you are and the connections that you have and the connections that you bring to your business. So those are some ways that we are doing that. So our fall survey is all about volunteer leaders. And so many of you got the fall survey probably in August, and it finished up the end of August. And if you still have something that you wanted me to know about, or you missed the survey for some reason and didn't get it in, and there's something that you want your voice to be heard about, please email me. It's on the slide. And it's in the slide that I sent to Andrea when she shares after the meeting. It'll be there. So feel free to get to me. We are working on that for the next couple of weeks to get all of the things that you have sent back to us through that survey coordinated so that we can make our report to the board in November when we're at VLBM. So that is going to be the next time. But this particular fall survey is always about the volunteer leader. So this is all about your needs, your time, your connections to SHRM. So if there's something that you need me to speak to, please get it to me as soon as possible so that I can make it into this report with us. I think those are the big things I wanted to talk about. Lastly, I would just like to share that this is my second year as the MAC in the Southeast region. So I am coming to the end of my term. My term will end the end of this year. So this is probably the last time I will probably be at one of your meetings. So I would like to take an opportunity to really thank you for the blessing of being a leader for you in the Southeast region. I hope that you feel your voices have been heard. I hope that you have felt that I have represented you well. And I know that our next person will be as engaged and involved. And I really enjoyed getting to come to your conference this year and being a part of that. It was really a great opportunity. It was good to get to meet many of you. So thank you for that. And if there's any questions, I'll be on for a little while so I can take questions. Feel free to throw them in the chat or something so that I can help you with that. And as I said, please email me if you have any special things that you want me to add to this report. Other than that, thank you so much for your time. And thanks, Andrea, for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Shirley. I appreciate you too. Thank you, Paula, as well. So we'll move into the next part of our agenda, just a financial overview. So Joshua, you go ahead and jump in and provide an update from your perspective. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Andrea. And I will own the fact, just so the larger group knows, on me for not having any visuals to share for the group. So totally on my shoulders, nothing that anybody else did or did not do. So from a financial update for the state council or for ALSHRM, we are sitting in what I would classify as a very healthy position, especially if we compare to years past. We've made great strides, and that's not without the work of many of those, most of those on this call and their diligence to move the needle as we've had our state conference, our ELCC, so on and so forth, to make sure that we do have the funds to be able to provide back to our chapters and do things like our VLBM at no cost to our leaders here, as well as the student event that we kind of rekindled last year, and I believe we'll keep going for the next year or two at least, if not well into the future. So 2025 budget, when we looked at that, kind of created that at the beginning of this year, we were hoping to target income of 266,000. We'll just say $266,000. Year to date, we are currently setting at $202,746.88. Of course, big lift of that was state conference. We had income from our state conference this year of $183,389.53. So great numbers there. And then when we look at our expenses, again, our 2025 budget, what we were looking at from an expense standpoint was $254,714 against that 266. So we were targeting a net income of $11,386. Well, if you remember, I just mentioned our income so far this year, $202,746 against our expenditures of $190,890.31. So right now, 2025 year to date, our net income is $11,856. So we are in the green, we are in the positive, we are trending well. We do have our ELCC coming up, as hopefully many, if not all of you, are aware. So we will have some expenses from that. But hopefully, you know, at least we're going to get that break-even point, if not make a little bit of money from that we can use for our chapters. State conference overall, I don't know if we did an update on that with a past CLA meeting. So again, state conference for 2025 was a great success. $183,389 income against expenses of $155,960. So we did have income from state conference alone of $27,428. So again, very healthy, very nice there. And then I was curious, so was looking at some comparative numbers, because currently in our checking account, we're setting at roughly a little north of $80,000 with being in that very healthy state that we're in right now. So we ended 2021, of course, coming off COVID, having to rebuild. We ended 2021 with $6,318 in our account. So to go from a $6,000 mark to now an $80,000 mark, again, great work, great commitment, great dedication of people on this call and outside of this call to help move that needle. So I just want to share my appreciation for everything that everybody's done and will continue to do. And I've enjoyed working with all of you and look forward to continue working with all of you as well. So unless there are specific questions, Andrea, I can turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Joshua. I appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and move us into our CLA areas. And I will, for the sake of time, I will hit those that I know are on the calls. And again, we will make the presentation available to everyone, but we will just focus on those who are here. And again, we really just want to focus on just really three main areas. What are your current goals in your area? What have you been working on since we last met? And what will your focus be for next quarter? And if there is anything that you need from us to support you to achieve those goals, please let us know. That's why we're here today. So our first area is membership. Yvonne, I'm going to cue it up to you.
Do you have the slide?
Yes, are you able to see my screen?
I don't think so.
Let me try it again. Hold on, I'm sorry.
I could see it. I could. I can see that.
Okay, hang on. I got it. Okay, all right. So our goal for membership for ALSHRM for 2025 was to increase our state membership by 10%. So when we last met, we were 8 memberships away from achieving that goal. And so that is huge for Alabama. And so for going forward, we're going to continue to have our monthly meetings. I have monthly meetings with your membership representative. from each chapter. I will say it's been kind of hot and cold as far as participation is concerned. So if you could just encourage your membership director to get on those calls, I would appreciate it. So what we do there is that we share ideas about how we can improve membership and what some of the other chapters are doing as far as incentives and programs and that type of thing. So that's been very, very useful, and some of the chapters are being very, very creative. So we are at an 8.97% increase for the state. So we're almost at our 10% goal. We had 1,090 members at the end of 2024, and currently we have 1,191. So we need 1,199 to make our goal, and I have all the confidence in the world that we will. Some of well, you can see this here, so I just want to highlight a couple of them. So look at Birmingham. I don't know what y'all are doing there, but you have sparked some interest and people are jumping on board. So an increase of 47. So when we had our call last time, I said, ALSHRM, you better watch it because they're heavy on your heels. So, but yeah, so most, all of the chapters have increased. There's a couple of them who have decreased. And those could be various things that people just forgot to renew or moved out of state or retired or whatever. So not too concerned about the reasons at this point, but there's definitely a lot of activity going on. So that's very appreciative.
Yvonne, yeah, thank you for your leadership in this area, and I appreciate you working to engage those membership directors. And we're seeing the fruits, and we want to continue to celebrate those wins. So thank you for that. I'm going to see if Erica, I don't know if she's able. Erica, are you able to use your audio? And then if we'll do a communications update, and then we'll start with certifications, professional development. I'm not sure if Erica can. We'll come back, okay? Lynn, I'm going to pivot to you for certification and professional development.
All right, good morning. Let me preface my updates by saying if I sound a little frazzled, it's because we just flipped the switch on our new HRIS. And this is our first payroll run, so lots of caffeine and deep breaths over here. But yeah, so a couple of updates. I think our main goal in my mind is really focusing on our partnership with AIHR. And of course, the webinar sponsors for ALSHRM. We have continued to partner with AIHR to promote their quarterly learning campaigns. And just a quick side note, Erica has been instrumental in communicating the learning campaign information through social media and the website and to the local SHRM president. So thank you, Erica. If you'll recall, there were 3 AIHR enrollments using the ALSHRM promo code last quarter. I think we reported 2 at our last meeting, and then we had another one that came in before quarter end. As a quick reminder, ALSHRM does receive 20% of the commission from any enrollment revenue that comes from our promo code. That being said, we haven't had any enrollments this quarter yet. However, our AIHR dashboard does show that there has been traffic from our ALSHRM site. And I sent these numbers in last week, and I checked this morning really quick to see if there were any updates. So the total users moved from 33 to 37. The new users moved from 27 to 29. The coupon downloads moved from 10 to 12. And then the coupon downloads for the syllabus moved from 0 to 2. So we have had traffic from, that's coming from our website, the ALSHRM website. We're also partnering with AIHR to deliver a webinar for all chapters under ALSHRM using an engagement tool they use with other SHRM partners. AIHR will host the webinar on their Zoom platform, and then they will also create marketing materials for us. So it's a light lift for us, and that all we have to do is select the topic, the best date for the webinar, and market it to our audience. AIHR provided 3 webinar options, and 2 we can choose. I'm sorry, 2 of those 3 options are for Q4, and 1 is for first quarter of 2026. And those topics provided were the 2 that we can present next quarter is rethinking HR careers, how to master your HR career skills, or future ready HR, the skills that matter most. And then for Q1 in 2026, it's HR trends 2026. So we just need to choose the best date for next quarter and for Q1 to present these webinars. Let me see if I hit the highlights. And then, of course, if there's any help needed with adding the PDCs to the HRCI or SHRM portals for the Employment Law and Compliance Conference, I'm happy to help with that. I know with HRCI, depending on, and I'm a little confused, so please forgive me, but I have October 9th listed for the ELCC. Is it 7 to 12? Is it 2 days? Because I'm looking at the website and I was a little confused about the schedule for it.
It is. It's the 9th. Is it the 9th and the 10th?
Okay.
Yes. Mhm.
So it is
The
2
10th
days,
is a
right?
half a day. Yeah, the 10th will be
Okay.
a half a day.
All right. Then. Okay. So yes, for HRCI, there's a spreadsheet that has to be uploaded to with all the presentations and additional information, titles of the presentations, have to have bios from the speakers and that kind of thing. So I know Jeff has the credentials to go in and add those PDCs, but I'm happy to help, in any way that I can.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you both for the work that you're doing in this area with this partnership. It's not only responding to feedback that we heard from our volunteers at the beginning of the year, which is how can Alabama SHRM become more of a resource around my professional development. So I thank you guys for taking that by the rein and really, pushing through. And there's a lot more to come. I think our next area that we'll jump to before we open it up to any chapter presidents to see if there are any updates there. We have a couple district directors. And for those of you that are not as familiar with our breakdown, we have 4 district directors. And thank you to Mallory, who is serving as the lead in this area, meaning that she, as the director-elect, has taken responsibility to work with these volunteer leaders in the area of district directors to ensure they have the support they need and to help guide and direct them to make sure they're able to support the chapters based on the needs that's happening in their areas. So we do have a couple updates. Mallory, before I turn it over to either with Denny and then to Keisha, is there anything you would like to add regarding district directors?
No, I think they're doing a great job, and we have a meeting in October. Our next quarterly meeting is set in October. So they just kind of email me when they need me, and I think they've been touching base with their presidents and chapters. I know Nana's not on this call, but she's been working to help the Coleman chapter, trying to help them get their footing back. So that's been we've all kind of been helping with that. So I'll let Denny and Takesha, speak since they are present.
Hey, Denny.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Just real quickly, we've started having Zoom calls once a month. I think it's the second Tuesday of every month with all the chapter presidents in District 1. We've also submitted for the SHRM Impact Award, so we've got our fingers crossed from that. And we're continuously trying to grow our membership. And we're going to try to get together sometime, all of us in District 1, and maybe have a lunch together whenever it's convenient for everyone. So we're trying to kind of put that together. And just trying to get together and brainstorm and collaborate on any ideas that we can share, what's going well with what chapters, any resources they may need, and if there's any way that I can assist them. So,
Thank you, Denny. Takesha?
Hi. Oh, well, that's not a District 3 update. That's sort of.
I'm sorry.
No,
Well, you just talk. I'm sorry. I forgive me. Go
that
ahead.
was our chapter update, but
I'm sorry.
no worries. Good morning, everyone. With our District 3 update, consists of Montgomery and Dothan, of course, Auburn. We have our meetings. Our meetings are held every fourth Wednesday of the month. They've been really successful. What we've done is just shared best practices, things that we have done within our chapters that have helped with membership or programming. Each chapter, Montgomery is doing an amazing job. Dothan is there. They currently have an event coming up that I hope that I can make it to, HR in Action. And I think, Andrea, you're one of the speakers for that event. So we're looking forward to that. I'm actually going to visit the Montgomery chapter tomorrow, and it is with hope that we as a district can come together and maybe have a leadership training as well as a conference. So that's what we have going on. So that's it for us.
Thank you, Takesha, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in a few weeks.
Yes.
I'm telling y'all, this year is moving fast. I do want to open it up. We do have a few chapter presidents on the call, and I just want to find out if there's any support that you need from us or any thing you want that's top of mind that we should address while we are here together.
I don't have anything specific except that I will say we did get with an accountant for the Shoals chapter, and we've submitted the paperwork to the IRS to get all of the, I don't even remember what it's called now, updated. There's been so much work. So if anybody needs an accountant, I do have one. They're not even in the Shoals. We just remotely used them and they did a great job. So
That's great, Mallory. I
moving in
remember-
the right direction.
Yep, I remember that being the conversation at the beginning of the year, so that's awesome. Yeah. Any other chapter presidents or chapter representation?
So this is Stacy with the ALSHRM. So good job, Mallory. I know that's been a big chore. So
Yes.
So just as an update with ALSHRM, to kind of what Paul has talked a little bit about too. So ALSHRM will be going through the co-branding process. Kind of been working with SHRM, and we're already a DMR chapter, so we're going to align and do our co-branding, and hopefully you'll see that being launched soon. So I just kind of need to, and I think Paul might have jumped off, but and maybe Yvonne, you can speak into this. I'm not sure if we can keep our current logo at all as like a mascot, or do we just need to scrap it and just go straight with the SHRM logo?
Well, Stacy, my experience with that is that the current that you're using now, that logo will be your mascot. Okay, so you can use it on things that are not like you can like put it on the website, or you can put it like on any type of promotion that you're doing, but you also have to use the official SHRM logo as well. And so those that you would use that more so than you would the other one.
Hey, Stacy, I'll say too, I've had really good success using the new logo, and I just completely did away with the old one that we had for years. I have found really good success with tying all of that together using the new one.
Okay. Well, thanks for the feedback, ladies. And I apologize that I didn't send really an update from our chapter, but a few things I just wanted to point out that we're working on up here. We're big on our workforce readiness program, and we've partnered with a lot of nonprofits up here, our Downtown Rescue Mission, Cornerstone, Village of Promise, just to kind of help with some workforce readiness programs within those organizations. And then at our workshops we have throughout the year, we adopt a community partner and try to help collect things, or do kind of how we did at the state conference with Kids to Love. So the one we're doing upcoming is Liz Hurley Run, which Liz Hurley's big in our community for just for breast cancer awareness. And so we're having an ALSHRM team. We have a couple of breast cancer survivors in our chapter, so we're forming a team. And then we've had a lot of great success this year with working with our chamber, Huntsville Madison County Chamber. We've held three already, and one more in November, but we're partnering with them and coming up with topics that the community needs. A lot of times this might be business owners that are attending these, or maybe HR department of one, but we're partnering with them, and we help provide the speakers. And it's more of an informal setting where you have a moderator, and then just have people there in the skill set, and we're just having candid conversations. So that's gone over really well, and our chamber's been really grateful to us for doing that. So
Thank you, Stacy. Well, the last thing that I have before I let you all go, I just want you guys to have a couple save the dates. As you probably know by now, we have the Employment Law and Compliance Conference coming up on October 9th through 10th in Huntsville. We talked about the Impact Award submissions, but we do have dates. Mallory, hold on one second. We have our, yes.
No, I was going to say, I wanted to say something about the state conference. That's why I raised my hand.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
You go ahead.
Okay. I was just going to mention, we have looked at our save the date for our VLBM for 2026. So more to come on that. We are looking at hosting a pre-session webinar for those maybe first timers. So we're just thinking of some creative ways to make the best use of everyone's time. It will be in person, but we're thinking about some things leading up to that. And then our state conference, which will be August 10th through 13th at the Grand Hotel. What were you going to say, Mallory?
I was just going to say, since we had this group of people together, it would be a good time to mention, if, like we did with the Kids to Love last year for a service project, if there's anybody that does have a, I guess a group or organization that you are close to, that is a state that does support the state at like a state level, we are looking to do that again. And if that's something that you would like to submit for us to work with, we'd be happy to look at that. So I thought this would be a good group to start off that with.
Thank you.
Did we just email that to you, Mallory? If we have,
That's
I think
fine.
project,
Any of
project,
me, Andrea, Yvonne, any of us.
okay.
Yep, good catch. Okay, y'all, I told you I want to be a good steward of everyone's time. It is 10:01. I do just want to remind everyone, we have our next CLA meeting December 17th. We will encourage everyone to participate. If you cannot attend, please have someone from your chapter attend. It's important for them to start to get that visibility into what's happening at the state level, particularly those of you who may be rolling off as chapter presidents and bringing on a new president. We definitely want to help get them engaged. If there is anything that I can do to support you all, I hope you all feel free to contact me, and I'm happy to support and answer any questions that I can. But you all, that's all I have for today. I want to let you all get back to your day and have a good rest of the week. And I really appreciate everything that you all have done. We've had some great wins. I'm looking forward to celebrating that as we wrap up this year. So with that being said, I'm going to give you your day back, and I want to say thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.